Dear colleagues, I'm very glad that I have got an opportunity to meet you again. Today we are going to talk about the use of gaming technologies and the method of storytelling for forming the communicative skills of the primary school pupils. This is not the first webinar when we talk about gaming technologies. As you can remember, we talked about gaming technologies, but in some different way. We talked about gaming technologies for forming different kind of skills, such as listening, writing, reading, and speaking. Today, we are going to talk only about forming of communicative skills. So, why playing games is so important? You know that primary school pupils are very active, very curious, and they enjoy learning everything but with the help of playing games. This is the most natural activity for kids. Using games during the lessons is really difficult because primary school pupils are not well organized, especially when they are at their first or the second year of study. But if you are patient, if you spend some time and you organize your pupils, I think that both you and your pupils will have benefits. Because game playing is a natural human activity, as I have already said. Games give an opportunity to practice language intensively and use it creatively. You know that while playing games, children are very creative and they add some extra information to the phrases which are used during the game or so on. And this kind of technology helps your children to develop speaking skills and not to be afraid of speaking English. Games motivate, challenge, and focus. They push our pupils forward in learning foreign languages. Games encourage cooperation as well as competition. They give our pupils the opportunity to learn to work together in groups with the whole class. And also this is a very good way to teach pupils to respect each other. Games help to practice all the language skills, but today we are going to talk about the communicative skills only. You can see just one type of the classification of games, and we are going to talk about all these types of games today. So games can be divided into games for pair work, the whole class games or group games, and team games. I would like to give the examples of every type of game, and for this, I'm going to use our textbook Start Up for the second year pupils. I am very proud to tell you that publishing house Ranak has published a new textbook for the pupils of the second form Start Up. I will show you this textbook right now. You can see it. So I will use Ukrainian a little during my presentation. So I'm very proud to tell that we have done it. Це our вибачте, це наш спільний проєкт, це спільний проєкт видавництва «Ранок» та Go Global. Наш підручник побудований за комунікативним методом. У ньому реалізовані наскрізні інтегровані змістові лінії, це дуже актуально зараз. І також в ньому реалізується імплементування методу storytelling. Ми збираємось поговорити про цей метод трошки пізніше і більш детальніше. So, if you do not know our textbook, this is a good opportunity for you to know more about it. First of all, I'd like to pay attention to the contents. The textbook contains 7 units, and every unit has got up to 15 lessons. You can see the contents right now. The units are like that. So my family and friends, my school, tasty food, our holidays, time for fun, this is me, and our world. All these units are according to our programs, current programs. And now let's speak about games which are given in our textbook. It is very important for me to mention that every lesson has got games, games of different kinds. At least one game is given in every lesson, at least one, but you can find even more than one. You can use some exercises to play games, some extra games with your pupils. You can create games. It's up to you. I think you will find our textbook very useful and interesting for teaching your pupils. In this slide, you can see the page of our textbook, and let's see at exercise 5. This is the game, what color is your rubber? With the help of this game, pupils practice the names of the colors and the names of school things. How to play this game? It's the game for a group or the whole class if your class is not very big. You can split up the children into groups of 5 or 6 pupils. Your pupils use rubbers as it is in the example of the exercise, or your pupils can use any other kinds of school things like pens, pencils, rulers, and they in groups ask questions about the color of school things and then find out the owner of these things. It is important to say that the explanation to every game is given in our textbook also. Well, the next game is for the whole class or a group 2. It's exercise 5. The idea of the game is the following. Pupils need to learn the names of fruit. They have got, the class is divided into 2 teams, and every member of the team has got 1 card with the picture or just the word which denote the name of a fruit. Pupils move around the classroom and say what kind of fruit they have. The idea of this game is to find the person from the opposite team with the same fruit. So in this way, pupils have got an opportunity to move around. This is very active kind of a game, and at the same time they listen to each other and they practice different kinds of words. You can use this game to help your pupils to learn some other words, not the names of the fruit, but the names of the vegetables or the names of the clothes and so on and so forth. This is a good idea to use this game with while learning other topics. Now you can see the example of a pair game. This is exercise 3. The idea of the game is the following. Pupils learn to practice phrases I like, I don't like. You can see pictures with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your pupils work in pairs. They need dice for this game. Every pupil throws the dice and they see the number of dots. And according to this, the child needs to say if he or she likes or dislikes the picture, the image of the picture, which corresponds the number. I think it will help your children to learn to remember new words and have fun and practice structures I like, I don't like. By the way, in this picture, you can also see exercise 5. This is one more game in this lesson. And the game's name is Crazy Letters. By the way, my pupils are really crazy about this game. The idea of this game is the following. The class is divided into 2 or 3 teams. And then every person from each team comes up to the board. I spell the words, different kinds of words, but I just say the letters not in the correct order. They write the letters on the board and then they must make up the word using these letters. It's a very good game for practicing writing skills. So you can see that every lesson has got a game or even 2 games. Now have a look at exercise 3. This is the idea for a pair game. Your pupils need to make up a dialogue and then to act it out. Acting out dialogues is really very helpful and very useful and very interesting for pupils, especially when they use some details of costume, some things like to show a present, some box or something else. Children like acting out and they are happy to act out dialogues. Here you can see another kind of a pair game. This is exercise 4. First of all, this exercise is divided into 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A is a kind of a game for children too, because you can see some words which are written in an unusual way. And your pupils need to guess what words these are and to write them in a correct way. This is a game for every single pupil. But the second part, your pupils need to produce their own dialects using the ideas which are in part B. So the children like making up their own dialects. I think this exercise will be interesting and useful too. Exercise 5 in this page also shows one more idea for practicing speaking skills while playing a game. This is a pair game, and your pupils also need to use dice, and they make up phrases, put on what, or take off what, put on shoes, or take off trousers. So green means put on, red means take off. And your pupils need to make up correct sentences. Our textbook also has got games for groups, and every unit finishes with the lessons of revision, and every lesson of revision has got this type of a game which your pupils need to play in groups. Children like these games too. I know it because my pupils play them with pleasure, and they also throw dice and go, and they need to answer the questions. If they answer the questions correctly, they have the opportunity to continue a game. If they don't, so they miss a turn. The children really enjoy playing these games, and you will find this type of game at the end of every unit. I think your pupils will enjoy them. This is a good way to refresh the knowledge at the end of every unit, to refresh the words, types of questions, answers, and so on. Now, let's talk about the method of storytelling. Every unit in our textbook contains the lesson which introduces the story. And this is a good opportunity for pupils to practice storytelling. Why this method is so interesting for children? Because it helps to learn English language with fun. Because while acting out stories, your children will be happy to use some kinds of costumes, maybe masks, or some other things to perform and to present the characters of these stories. What are the benefits of storytelling? Well, first of all, they are attractive for young learners. They can show their talents. They can act as real actors and actresses. They can use different kinds of costumes for this, or they can perform in groups. Usually it's a real fun for children. Storytelling, when pupils see these tasks, the first thing is they see many pictures. Pictures are really interesting. Pictures can help children to use their imagination and to pretend the story, and maybe create their own ways of developing the story. So pictures are really interesting. Storytelling involves and develops listening and speaking skills because first, pupils see pictures. They can imagine what kind of story it is, what this story is about before listening to it. And after that, pupils need to listen to a story. Listening is also a very natural kind of activity because pupils like to listen to stories. And then after they have listened to the story, they try to repeat it, and they develop their speaking skills in that way. And as the result of all the mentioned points, storytelling encourages to use imagination, creative skills, and critical thinking, Why critical thinking? Pupils think about the main idea of the story. They think what is right and what is wrong. Perhaps they can imagine their own ways of the developing of the story and their own endings of these stories. I think it's really very important for young learners. Here you can see the example of storytelling from our textbook, and it is very important to say that we have got audio recordings for every lesson and for every storytelling exercise. And now you will have the opportunity to listen to such a audio recording.
Lesson 12. Exercise 1. Listen, point, and repeat. 1. Hello. Hi.
Hi. Hello. Let's go to the park and play.
2. Look, I can ride a bike. Look, I can fly a kite.
Look, I can play with frisbee.
Look, I can play tennis.
4.
I can see a bike, a kite, and a frisbee. Bill? Jack? Jill?
5. Hello, Olenka. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. And how are you?
I am okay. Let's ride a bike. 6.
Olenka, meet our friend Jenny. Jenny, this is Olenka. Nice to meet you. Can you play tennis?
Yes, I can. Let's play tennis together in the park.
Great!
So as you can see, we have got audio recordings, and they have been made by native speakers. This is really important for our pupils to hear native speakers. Well, one more storytelling lesson and one more audio recording.
Lesson 12. Exercise 1. Listen, point, and repeat. 1.
Look at these nice dresses. I'd like to have a new dress. Look at this yellow dress. Put it on.
2.
I don't like it. It's too long.
3.
Look at this blue dress. Put it on.
4.
I don't like it. It's too short.
5.
Olenka, look at these blue jeans and a t-shirt. Put them on.
6.
I like these blue jeans and a t-shirt. They are my favorite now.
So, I hope you know how to work with storytelling now. First, you need to ask your pupils to look at the pictures carefully, to ask different types of questions. For example, what can these pupils see in the pictures? Who can they see? Where are the children? What are they doing? What are they talking about? And after that, your children listen to this story. Then you ask some pupils to repeat and act out this story. Of course, it's not an easy thing, and a teacher needs to help the pupils. As I do it, I start the sentences and my pupils finish them. It helps the children to remember the plot, and the pictures help to produce the story in the correct way. And when children try once, the second time, and then they act it out in front of the class. They have a lot of fun, and they can have some extra things to produce, to perform these stories. I hope your pupils will enjoy this activity, and this activity will help your children to be brave enough to talk and to feel fluent in talking. So this is the storytelling that you have already listened to. And now I would like to pay your attention to the fact that we don't have only the textbook. We have got also the workbook. And here you can see the page of our workbook developed for the textbook. This workbook will be published very soon, and you will be able to buy it and to use it during your lessons with your pupils. This is one more page from our workbook, and by the way, you can use some exercises of the workbook to play games during the lesson too. I think you will enjoy it and your pupils will enjoy it. And one more page from our workbook. This is lesson 5 from unit Meet My Family, and you can see here the exercises to help your pupils to learn new words, to remember them, to write them, and so on. It is really very necessary for me to tell you that we have also created the teacher's planning. Зараз я перейду на українську мову, бо календарно-тематичний план дуже важливий для нас усіх, і я дуже радо відзначу, що в нашому календарно-тематичному плануванні також є інтегровані змістові лінії та компетентності, що формуються. Все вже зроблено, друкується зараз, і ви можете дуже легко цим користуватись і не витрачати свій час на складання календарно-тематичного плану. Я сподіваюся, він буде дуже зручним для вашого користування. Well, this is all the information I wanted you to know during our webinar today. I think that you enjoyed our webinar and you found some interesting and useful information for you. I wish you, my dear colleagues, to be creative, because if we are creative, our pupils are really smart. They enjoy English, they are ready to learn new information, and they are ready to improve our mood with their wonderful achievements. I hope I will meet you again with the different useful topics in our future webinars. Now, that's all. Thank you for being with me. Good luck.